Good evening, Professor. I am here to walk you through my Milestone1 code and flowchart and UML. I took some notes, and on my other screens, if you see me looking back and forth, that's because I'm referring to my notes. But I wanted to start with the flowchart, so I'm going to be walking you through this flowchart. That's a visual representation. Is kind of step one to creating a program is, okay, what do I need? You have to gather your requirements. So after gathering your requirements, here's kind of where we start. We're starting here in our little start node. And so then we're going to initialize our store, and we're going to come down here, and really this will add products to the inventory or show or initialize the products in the inventory. Ideally, in the long run, I'd like to have a database or like a CSV file full of those products, and then we'll import them into here. But again, this is the very beginning, the shell of the code. So are there products in the inventory? If yes, you can start adding them to your shopping cart. If no, it stops. If there's no product, you can't really go anywhere else. So if we do have product, yes, we're going to add it to the shopping cart. We can purchase the product, and that will check it out, give you a receipt, and then it needs to update the inventory and go back to the beginning, right? And then we can add them to shopping cart. We can also cancel the product, which will skip the checkout and go back to update the inventory and basically just put it back in. So currently the program has some sample products in it, and it will add them to the shopping cart. It will also print if you decide to cancel it or remove something from the cart. It will check the shopping cart. Currently, it doesn't add anything into the shopping cart, so when it prints the shopping cart, it's empty, but it does update the inventory. So let's go ahead and move on to the UML. Okay, so this is the UML, or the Unified Modeling Language, for the code. There's a lot of methods in these. So if we just look at the association between the classes, our storefront really is, it's not the main class, but it is the class that has, the most things inheriting from it. Because our storefront is going to be what gets and sets the inventory, it gets and sets the shopping carts, etc. So we have our inventory manager, and this is really going to be where our inventory is stored. The shopping cart obviously is where we're going to put things when we want to buy them. And then this in turn will come over to the saleable products. The saleable products really, this one needs to relate to the storefront as well. So I'll update that afterwards. So our saleable product needs to be able to update the storefront, and our shopping cart will really update the inventory manager. So it all kind of meshes together. So there's an association between the storefront inventory manager and that the storefront's relationship with the inventory manager. The storefront can access the inventory manager because in order to know what you have in your inventory, the storefront has to be able to get to it. So we have to be able to see it from our storefront. Sorry, I need to slow down my talking. So there's an aggregation relationship between the inventory manager and the saleable product, which is not noted on my UML either. And the inventory manager aggregates multiple instances of the saleable product so that it can access the, so this is like it's a part-whole relationship. It's like the vending machine example I gave in my discussion question. So this inventory manager kind of doles out those products, or if it was a vending machine, those snacks. So then each association role, for example, let me give you an example of the association role. The association between the storefront and the inventory manager has the role that manages, because the storefront manages the store's inventory. So we have our inventory manager, but really the storefront is the one that's going to be updating those products. So a storefront is really the manager of the inventory manager. So then we can talk about multiplicity here. Between storefront and inventory manager, there is one storefront that's associated with one inventory manager. In contrast, in the aggregation relationship between the inventory manager and saleable product shows that inventory manager can manage multiple saleable products. Whew. So the relationships between the classes and the roles that they play is really what this UML chart is for. It really would more look like a spider web, but UML is supposed to kind of, make that easier to look at. So let's go ahead and look at the code. All right. So here we have the code. In our app, we have the storefront application, and that's where our main is stored. Nope, not that one. Just kidding. Where did I put main? No, it is. It's right there. Storefront application. I knew it. So that's where the main is stored. Okay, so so the purpose of each class, obviously our storefront application, aka our main, this is going to be kind of what pulls everything together. This is how you start the code. This is where you run it from. So the saleable product class, there we go. So saleable product represents a product with attributes. So this is one product, but obviously the saleable product can make lots and lots and lots of products, which is the idea, right? Because we don't want a storefront that only sells one thing. How very boring. So you can see inside the code, it sets the name and the description. So the name would really be product 1, product 2, product 3, or like the barcode for the product. The description is going to be more like what we would call the name, like Bose headphones, Beats, Apple AirPod Pros, all headphones. A price, and then the quantity of the item that we have in the inventory. So we have all of our getters and setters here. We need to get the name and set the name, get the description, set the description, price, and quantity. So now let's go look at inventory manager. So here for our inventory manager, this is the one that will contain and manage the list of available products. So this is going to be where it kind of, where we add products and get products. It doesn't really take away from them. That happens in the storefront or the shopping cart. Oh my gosh, I can't remember. We'll look at it when we get there. But it does update. This is our inventory. Whatever our current inventory is, here it is. So let's move on to the shopping cart class. So in our shopping cart class, this represents the customer shopping cart. So there's the add and remove product. So they can add products to the shopping cart, remove products from the shopping cart, and when they add it to their shopping cart, it will take it away from the inventory. And when they remove the product from their shopping cart, it'll go back into the inventory, ideally. So, I think that's it for that one. Yeah, but it does return the cart items so that the inventory can be updated. This is extra space for more. As far as I understand this assignment, this is like a shell of an application that is to be expanded in future milestones. I hope I got that right because there's so much more that we can do with this. I just had to stop somewhere. So I would like to update the data files from here, and then leaving space for other methods to manage the shopping cart. I'll brainstorm on that later. So the storefront class, here's the big one. So this is our main, the storefront class. So this is going to demonstrate the functionality of the entire store. This is basically all of it, our main, right? This is our main squeeze. This one here these are my sample products. Again, I'd really like products to come from a database, from an outside source, like a CSV file or a TXT. But again, we had to stop somewhere, right? Can't do it all in one go. So this one will initialize our store, pull in all of our products. It's going to create the store and all of the instances of our shopping carts, whether that be lots and lots of customers or just the one. And it has it holds the sample products here. It can also show the purchase and cancellation of a product. So it will tell you when a product is purchased, it'll tell you when a product is canceled and taken away and returned to the inventory. Taken out of the shop, taken away from the shopping cart is what I meant. Taken away from the shopping cart and returned to the inventory, as we saw in our flowchart. And then it reprints the final inventory so that we, on the back end of the store, right, can see what products we have left. And then right here, it would print the cart contents, but we didn't really add anything to the cart. If you can see my output right here, I'll run it again here in just a second. So it really this really is a shell of a product or a store right now. It can be very much expanded, and I fully intend to expand it, even if this is the last time we ever see this in an assignment. This has been a fun project to work on. It's been difficult and involved, and but it's been really cool because I can totally see how this would be translatable into the workforce and careers and things like that. But let's go ahead and run this from the storefront. So we can just go ahead and run from storefront application. So as you can see here, a product was purchased and then canceled. So when we come through here and we see that the product was purchased, it reprinted our product one because it was canceled. So it looks like it was purchased and then it was canceled. Our cart contents again were nothing because it was canceled in the end. But what should have happened after I get to update this code in our next milestone, hopefully, I think that's where I read it. It will be more clear that this was put in there and then print, not all at the same time. So it would say product purchased and tell you which product it was, purchase canceled, tell you which product is returned to the inventory, and then your final inventory, so this wouldn't print twice. And ideally, when you add a product to the cart, product purchased, it will print the cart then. So again, this has a long way to go, but it was a lot of fun to create. So thank you for the assignment. Hopefully I covered everything. I also did create the README file, so that's right here for you. That will be going into my zip files. If you have any questions for me, please let me know. And thanks.